there posting their crusty head kids. God just told me it won't time. It won't time. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, okay? It's your girl Anessa back with another video. It's been almost 4 days, maybe a week since I recorded a video for you guys, or well, basically uploaded a video for you guys, because God just told me it won't time. It won't time. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, whatever you want to do. You know, I'm just trying to spread the word, spread the word, spread the word, okay? If you watched part 1 of Healing After the Abortion, Miscarriage, and Stillborn, I touched on some touchy subjects, basically, in that video. In this part, this is part 2 of Healing After the Abortion, Miscarriage, and Stillborn. So if you haven't seen the first one, I'm going to leave a link up in the corner of the video, and you can go watch that and then come back and watch this one. In this video, I'm going to be discussing about how to move past the abortion, the miscarriage, or the stillborn. I can only talk from the abortion standpoint. I can't talk on any other. I can only refer to what I have discussed with other women. I'm not going to be disclosing any names or any stories that people have told me. I'm keeping all that confidential. Just the information on what did they use to move forward after it. Because a lot of us are still struggling with trying to, well, I feel like I'm not forgiven. I feel like I'm going to hell. I feel like I'm not going to be able to have another child after this. I feel like God left me when I needed him the most. Those are all, like I said in the first video, those are the questions that we go through. That's what we deal with in our mindset, and that's what we deal with in our free time when we're by ourselves. Sometimes that's when it creeps in the most. I know at one point I couldn't even get on social media because I was feeling the type of way when I would see everybody else having children or posting their babies or saying, "Oh, I'm pregnant," or this, that, the third, and it would hurt me because I'm just like, that could have been me. That should have been me. Oh, my child would have been 4 or 5 years old this year because, oh, they would have been going to school and I could have been posting my first day school pictures, you know. Everybody else posting their crusty head kids on Facebook or social media. I don't mean call nobody kid crusty. I'm just talking out of, hurt. Okay? But I'm going to tell you how I dealt with moving forward from my abortion, because, and I'm not telling you that it's going to happen overnight. It's going to happen in 1 year. It's going to happen in 2 years. It took me 4 years. 4 years to actually feel comfortable to talk about it, to confront it, it took me a long time, and it's still something that I deal with, but it's not bad like it used to be. When I first got it, it was like every day. Like I said, I was crying and I was just, woo. It was a pain that I did not want to ever experience again. But during that time, one way that I started dealing with my abortion was working out. I used that as a gateway of, I'm going to put my focus on something else. So me losing from 260 pounds to 200 pounds, that 60 pounds, that took me the whole year and a whole year and 7 months to bypass, to move forward, like healthy eating, focusing on, well, how can I incorporate new foods this week, or how can I not eat meat this for 3 weeks. You know, I did the 3 weeks of no meat. You know, I ain't never think I would be able to give up meat, but I did. But that was because my focus was on that, to get it off of the abortion. Another way, therapy, counseling. You can even go to a grieving counselor. I just went to a regular therapist, and I did about 5 sessions with him. It was like I would go in there. At first, I would just sit there. Now, my therapist, when I was in New York, he wasn't your typical therapist. And I actually enjoyed sitting there talking with him, because he just gave it to you like it was. So, issues that I didn't think I had abandonment issues. That's why I couldn't just jump. I jumped from one relationship to another because of those. Another video right there for you. But he basically was helping me to open up about things that I didn't think I should open up about. But to me, the therapist, it worked, but I still went right back in my slump afterwards, because it was just like, oh, I still feel like crap. I still feel like I'm not forgiven. I still feel, it was just like, yeah, on the outside, oh yeah, I'm going to therapy. I went to counseling, got me some help. It helped me during that time. It helped me to move back from New York to North Carolina. I can't say it did help in that matter, because he was just like, you're not happy here. And it wasn't just that I wasn't happy there. I wasn't happy back at home neither, but it was, you knew it was time for me to come back to North Carolina, basically. So I did working out, therapy. I then had to remove myself and change the environment that I was around. That means some friends, some family members, or some, like I said, social media. Some things you would not be able to be around, because it's just going to cause you hell, okay? Like some things, like some people would try to bring up the fact, oh yeah, you would have had a little 2-year-old, 3-year, and it would be like, okay, yeah, but it didn't happen. Let's move forward. That was something that was, it makes it hard, because like I said, you get on Facebook, you get on social media, and the people that do know about, know about your pregnancy or your, it's a conversation that they hold on to. They still want to talk about it. And it's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to move past it, but you trying to talk about it, and I don't want to talk about it. And I'm going to be honest, it's okay to talk about it, because the more you talk about it, the better you're going to feel, because you're releasing it into the atmosphere. You're releasing that hurt. You're releasing that pain out. And I was thinking talking about it was just going to cause me more pain. It was going to cause me more hurt. But like I said, here recently, I just got to the point where now I talk about it more. Then I couldn't talk about it. It was just like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I'm over it. I left. I came back. I'm done. Don't talk to me about it. It's as if it never happened. But talk about it with somebody. Find someone, like I said, with your therapist, with your counselor, with your grieving counselor. Talk about it with somebody, a friend, family member, somebody that's not going to judge you on the matter. Because a lot of us are walking around and we feel like we're by ourselves, because nobody has experienced what we've experienced. But then you find one person that comes out and say, okay, well, I'm going to share my experience. Like me, I'm sharing my experience with the world. I don't care. That's how comfortable I have gotten with it. But I have found young women and young ladies that have come out and told me, yeah, I'm dealing with the same thing. I'm having suicidal thoughts. I'm to the point where I'm just done. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to ever be forgiven. I can't even forgive myself. That leads me to my next part of a way to heal from this. Forgiveness. Forgive yourself. If you don't forgive nobody else, always forgive yourself first. A topic came across on my Bible plan this morning, and it says, forgiving even when, sorry, I had to write it down. Forgive even when you can't forget. A lot of us are feeling like we can't forgive ourselves because of it. God done forgave. Once you pray that first prayer and say, God, please forgive me. God said, okay, I forgave you. I'm going to forget it. We on to the next. That's why I say I'm so thankful that God is not like man, because we beat ourselves up so bad. It's like I said in the last video, we put our own chains around our neck and we weigh our own selves down with our own burdens. But when you cast your cares upon the Lord, He cares for you. So He done forgave you, and when you sitting back like, well, I ain't over it. I'm not done with it. God, you ain't forgave me. I ain't forgave myself. I got to go through this. God sitting back like, what you talking about? I forgave and I forget. Like, I forgave you a long time ago when it first happened. But you're holding on to it. I'm telling you today, forgive yourself. Because that's where the love for yourself is going to come into play. Because a lot of us are walking around here not happy because of the love that we supposed to have for ourselves. We don't have it because we're holding on to the chains. And you know how you got the little balls, the heavy tent, like the heavy ton balls that got chains on your leg, and you trying to walk, but you got the balls walking by, so you can't walk as fast as you think you can. That's what a lot of us got on our ankles. We got all those burdens and all those things that God has said, you know, I done loose the shackles off. You the one still closing the shackle back. I'm over it. And that's where a lot of us sit. We feel like we have to off ourselves because we can't live with the pain. We can't live. A lot of us are on medicine because of our anxiety, of our depression, of our the inner feelings that we are having, the things that we can't control because we just like, you know, I'm still having that anxiety because I'm supposed to be holding my baby right now. I'm supposed to be having a child run beside me right now. I still got the crib. I still got the clothes that I brought for this baby, and it's not here. Forgive yourself because it's not your fault. If you had a miscarriage or a stillborn, even an abortion, somebody told me this a long time ago when it first happened to me. They said the soul of that baby can always come back if you're conceiving again. So even if that baby did not come, if that baby came into this world and it did not have one life in it, it didn't have no life in it, guess what? That soul of that baby can still come back once you try again. God may have told you it's not the time. It's not time for this baby to be here yet. This is not what you need right now in your life. And that's okay. It hurts to go a full 9 months or go, you know, just to be almost there. And you get your baby, and like I said, the doctors hand you your baby, and it's not crying, it's not breathing, it's not doing any of that. And you just sitting there like, Am I a bad mother? Like, it makes you hurt so bad, because you're just like, God, I did everything right. I made sure I went to my appointments. I took my prenatals. I took this. I took that. I did this. I did that. And God just like, no, that's not the case. I had to keep this. I had to keep this baby because you're not ready for this baby yet. You have to be in the right place at the right time for me to give you this baby again. But it's not going to be on your timing. It's going to be on my timing. That's what God is telling you. It's his timing. That timing, I know you might be like, no, that ain't the case. That ain't the case. God, that's what God is saying. God is saying, it's not your time. It's his time. When this baby come back, it's going to be like, this baby, it's going to be like, you're going to be like, God, this feels so familiar. Guess what? It's going to be that same soul that was supposed to be here the first time that didn't make it. For me, God kept me, even though I turned my back on him, I was just like, God, I'm done with you, okay? It was just like, God basically came and told me, because you grew up with no father, this is not how you should have your baby. That's not the case for everybody, but for me, that was my case. My talk was always, I want my child to grow up better than I grew up. I want my child I want my child to have their father there with them. And I don't mean just be there and they're not active in their life, but be there and be active. Like, oh, father-daughter dances. I didn't get that opportunity. I want my child to experience that. To be able to walk on the beach holding hands with mama and daddy that love each other. And not just putting on a show just because we're trying to hold on to each other. I want my child to experience that genuine love. That's why it was just like, after a while, it took me 4 years to get to this point. Because I had to realize that I grew up without my father in the household. My child could have possibly grew up with their father not in the household. I'm not saying my ex would have done that, but I'm just saying I had to go off what I felt was right. And a lot of you are married. A lot of you might be not married and might be going through something now. Don't feel like this is, I'm not convicting you. I'm not here to cast judgment on you, because guess what? Hey, you got help. You got a support system. You got people that are willing to take on children. If you can't do it, somebody else want it. That's what a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people are out here having kids and they're neglecting the kids. And it's like, people want children that can't even have them. Give the child to somebody that you know will take care of it. Maybe go in with somebody and say, hey, I can't take care of my child right now. But I want them once I get on my feet, I want to come back and get them. You don't even have to go through the state to do that. You don't even have to go through anybody to say, okay, well, I got a good friend. She got an extra room, or she don't mind taking care of somebody, this child. I'll help if I can help. If I can't, then I know the child is going to be taken care of until I get on my feet. And don't do that and just go and neglect the child. Then be in that child's life. Even if you can't take care of your friend or your support person, say, hey, you always welcome to come by and see your child. I don't even know why I'm telling y'all this, but it's somebody out there that might need to hear this. But if your support system says, hey, you are welcome to come by and see your child whenever you want to, take the opportunity to be in that child's life. Do not cause that child any type of issues in their early on life. Abandonment issues come in so early because a lot of parents neglect their children at the ages of 0 to 5. Be in your child's life if that person allows you. And if they don't, that's not the person for you. Find someone else. Even the fosters, if you got to go through the foster care system, you got to go to an orphanage. If that child comes looking for you and they ask you, why did you give me away? Why did you neglect me? That's an issue these children have. That's an issue a child has to go through. I'm going to get off that subject, but I don't know. Somebody might need to hear that today, and somebody's in a decision. They're trying to make a decision, and they needed to hear that. You got it. You've been fed by the Lord, okay? But I got a few more, and I'm just run through them. I get my notebook. Continue to pray. Praying is always going to be a part of moving past. Even if you turned your back on God, eventually you're going to turn your back right back. You're going to turn your face right back to God, because that's what happened to me. I moved back home, and guess what? We went on we started doing a 1-week phone call of praying. God had used them right then and there to get me back on track. God works in mysterious ways, but that's how it worked. Another thing that I did was a spiritual bath or a womb cleansing. I'm not going to elaborate too much on that because that was more so at the beginning of my journey here recently. I actually did it to start my celibacy journey, but I didn't know it had more benefits to it than what I had saw or what I had read about. Actually, the womb cleansing, basically you're in the tub. When you put you some water in there, you get you some herbs. Like, you go to your spiritual store, get you some herbs, like tea herbs or something, lavender, peppermint, whatever you want to give. You can sprinkle it in there. I don't do too much because you don't want to clog the drains. Get you a few candles. Burn you some candles, like the little tea light candles. Burn them around. Sage, incense. Get that going. And you want to clean. You got to clean your tub and stuff before. Make sure the room is clean. Get in the water, and you're going to just splash the water on you and say you're releasing out the bad and you're allowing in the good. So it's almost like a negative, positive energy release. It helps with that. So that womb cleansing, you're in there and you're just like, I'm pouring the water on my head so that it can come down. You can use Florida water, or you can use olive oil, anything that you feel can help you with your spiritual journey. Florida water is the #1 cleanser for spirituality. I don't use it as much anymore because I turned to my olive oil. I use my praying oil instead. But in the tub, all I do is I just sit there. Like I said, I pour the water on my head. I take it, close my eyes, and pour the water. And as I pour the water, I'm chanting, I am healed. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am strength. I am whatever you want to say. Your affirmation. You say your affirmation. You say you release whatever you need to release. And when you get out of the tub, you go and pray. You go and just let God do what He's gonna do in your life. And honestly, after I did that, it was like that. It was a heaviness that lifted off of me. It was like that cloudiness that And I'll do a video to explain how you do spiritual baths or how to do a womb cleansing. But most women do a womb cleansing after they've had either a miscarriage or a stillborn or an abortion. Or they do a womb cleansing after they've had sex with somebody that they did not want to have. You know, women that have been raped, molested, all of that, they do stuff like that are spiritual. I'm not saying everybody do that afterwards, but, and it's not something you do every time that after you do it. You're supposed to do it when it's a full moon. Or you're supposed to do it when you feel like, okay, well, I've sold my aurora, whatever it's called, aurora. Anyways, whatever that word is, I'll post it down here. But once that gets off track, it's time for you to do it. And you're gonna feel when you're out of balance. You're gonna feel your chakras need to be healed and your chakras need to be realigned. Like, yeah, I that's how much digging I had did when I first started this journey. And then God was like, that's not what I want you to do. I want you to do it this way. So, but that's a video I'll explain to you guys soon. But I thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys took something from this video. And I hope you guys are moving on. And not saying moving on as a bad thing, but forgiving yourselves even when you can't forget. But you're just going to release and let God do the healing on the inside. Because once you release, God is definitely going to heal. And it's a joyous occasion once he heals you. And you're going to be feeling like, you know what, God, I should have been did this a long time ago. And you're going to see your happiness. You're going to see yourself smiling more. You're just going to feel an overwhelmingness of joy, an overwhelmingness of happiness. Your heart is going to even feel content because it's going to be like, oh, I'm not thinking about that previous, you know, that past stuff. I'm letting the past stuff go and I'm releasing. But like I said before, if you haven't liked, subscribed, commented, please do so. And share this video. Maybe you'll help somebody else along the way. Thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.